Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Rive to receive the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
The current membership offering that we have is, as I said, 3,275 members. Those memberships, which are will be backed by an NFT, those are what we call global lifetime memberships, and they're founding members. So what that essentially means is you're grandfathered in to any future show clubs that we open throughout the world. And it's those 3,275 memberships that will be the only ones that will provide you global access, meaning you can go to any show club that we open, as opposed to a local membership, which certain people may just have a need and, to want to join their local show club at some point. That membership, theoretically is really geared towards that particular location, but the founding members, level that we're initially offering will give you that global access. And in terms of, the bigger picture, you nailed it. I think, first and foremost, we're a hospitality, fine dining, restaurant experience that, in addition to that, has a membership component, a private membership component, which offers you, of course, things like priority reservations, access to a dedicated concierge. Different tiers have other benefits as well, but there's also going to be quite a bit of programming and other events, that will happen in parallel with the restaurant. So you'll have quite a few very valuable benefits as a patron of the restaurant and as a member of Show Club, that will give you a certain level of access and a certain level of services that you wouldn't otherwise have if you were simply just coming in from, outside, a public person coming in to dine at the restaurant. But in addition to that, there's also, we have a lot of plans for other types of programming and events as well, that, some of which will take place inside the restaurant and inside the four walls of our venue, and other events that will, happen outside the restaurant.
So I want to go through a couple so you have 3 tiers of the NFT. The Earth NFT is $7,500. There are 2,874 of those. Water is 15,000. There are 377, and then there's Fire, which is $300,000, and there's 20 of those. I want to kind of put that one to the side for a second, because it sounds like there's a lot more going on with the Fire one specifically. But I just wanted to ask about some of these benefits, because on your site you talked about the concierge. You can have a house account. If you're on the water level, you can have a private car service. But there's priority reservations, access to all future show club lounges. It sounds like there's education experiences as well, which, I mean, that'd be pretty cool for me. And so talk a little bit about what the kind of the steps up, because I think this is an interesting concept in that, if you have an NFT that is a lifetime value that can actually be transferred to, if let's say that you're a venture fund in San Francisco, maybe this is a great option for you to be able to host founders or investors or something like that. But you don't have use for it after 5 years or something like that. And then someone else can buy it and come in. So what are kind of those tiers, and how are you thinking about that? And then if you want to touch on Fire as well, that'd be
yeah,
interesting.
sure. And touching on what you had just said, I think that's the key piece. That's an important delineation for us to share, with your listeners, is that first and foremost, this is a one-time purchase, right? So unlike other membership clubs, whether it be clubs that we covet and actually enjoy, like the Soho House, or in San Francisco, the Battery, those are annual membership based programs with annual dues, oftentimes $3,000 to $5,000 a year. Show Club starts at our foundation level, which is our Earth membership, at $7,500 one time. So there's no annual dues, there's no reoccurring fees or payments. You pay once, and you're a lifetime membership holder. The other big difference is that, as you touched on, you can then sell that membership. Hoium at the very least, hopefully for what you paid. And our goal is to certainly increase that value over time. Unlike other, kind of standard memberships, it's a use it or lose it. You pay that annual fee, and if you go once or you go 20 times a year, it's what you make of it, but it's also, kind of lost in terms of the dollar value at the end of that year. You can't recover it.
It's a symbiotic relationship too. Sorry to cut you off, but I think this is what's interesting with NFTs in this kind of asset class is the holders then have an incentive to make this the coolest restaurant around, an event center around, and Show Group does as well to create value for holders. So it is sort of this symbiotic relationship.
Got it. I mean, there's a level of accountability there, certainly, and there is a lot of, reciprocity in that, we're thinking very much about how every day we can add value. Not only do we want to ensure that what someone is paying for that lifetime membership, are they getting that, they're getting that value. For us, we often talk about 10xing the value. So if you're going to pay $7,500 for a membership, we want you to feel over those 10 years that you receive $75,000 in value. So there's that component, which is, a level of accountability that we have to continue to execute and deliver on creating great experiences and great value for our members, because we want those memberships to obviously retain their value. And then there's the other piece of it too, which is the members have a level of interest, or there's an incentive for the members to also engage in the community and to also help us and provide feedback, and to do their part in terms of ensuring that the community is strong and that, the show club membership continues to provide, value over the long term. So yeah, I think that is a very unique facet of, what we're offering and what a membership that's based in an NFT, can do. In terms of getting into your next question around, Earth memberships and the foundation level, and then kind of the delineation between the next tier, which is our water membership, the real difference between those two memberships is really in water members, which is a $15,000 lifetime membership, receive valet parking, complimentary valet parking. And we know, in the city of San Francisco, like that's a pretty good value. If you think of a water membership over 10 years breaking down to around $130 a month, if you come to the restaurant twice, you're essentially, that's pretty much your valet parking covered, or your parking is covered. Yeah. So that's a benefit for that tier. The other component is a car service, a complimentary car service. So within a certain radius, we'll pick you up and bring you to the restaurant via a show car. And then the last piece, which I think is really the biggest component of the water tier membership, is our monthly members omakase dinners. And those dinners will be programmed and curated, where we'll be bringing in on a monthly basis different types of celebrities, various speakers, really engaging and interesting content that we'll be delivering and sharing on a monthly basis, for those members. So for people who really value, the educational element, people who want to be networking and meeting on a frequent basis with other members and doing various kinds of, mind melds and opportunities to learn, all different things and be exposed to various elements of Japanese culture, but not just Japanese culture, other, types of content as well. That's really where the water membership, I think, comes into play. And